Hi, mateys. Welcome. Dynamite. It's Dynamite with James Kingsley and Jim Watkins. Here we are. Where are you? Nobody's here yet, but you're coming soon. Let's check it out. Excuse me while I whip this out. Okay, that works. Good. Then I have to update the thumbnail. Okay. We will make a thumbnail for this. We will. And then I will tell everyone we're here, because right now nobody knows. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Today, Anon will be joining us, and it will be one fine day. Okay, now we can share this link. I'm going to share it all over the place. Yeah, I'm going to share it on Gab. Anon edition. Bye. This is how we set stuff up. Oh, it's going to people I don't know, so we'll just do it like that. People are here. Who's here? Wow, Pynon is here. Welcome, Pynon.
Howdy.
One, amigo to amigo. How are you doing? Wow.
Yeah, I've had better days.
I like that truck. You need a gun rack in the back of that window.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
So, I don't know if everyone knows who you are yet, and we have James Kingsley coming in here. And I was just finished setting things up here, so we all know what's going on. Pynon was one of the political prisoners in Washington, D.C., and I believe you're out on bail?
Bond, but yes.
Bond, bail. I don't know the difference, honestly, but yeah, you paid a bail bondsman to be out on bail, or?
Well, that's what I think maybe the difference is. They just released me I didn't have to pay anything.
Oh, nice.
Nothing like that. Yeah.
So, have you gone to court over that yet?
No, I have not.
So probably we should steer clear of talking about that.
I mean, you can ask whatever you'd like if I don't feel comfortable answering it, or if I think it would jeopardize my defense, then I'll just defer.
That sounds good. So, did you invade the Capitol?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't enter any buildings. I didn't destroy anything. I didn't attack anybody. They labeled me a terrorist, but I didn't do anything they're accusing me of.
Are you labeled a terrorist?
According to some news agencies, I'm a terrorist, and I'm also the quote-unquote leader of the riot, but I'm neither one of those.
I thought I was. Yeah. I saw the documentary, and they showed me leading the riots.
Yeah, they're just reaching at straws, if you ask me.
I'm asking people to share this now, so people can talk to us. So you were on.
I'm not getting
I can hear you. I just can't see. You got to click the little camera thing.
I can't get my camera to change over. Hey guys,
it's okay if you have no camera. You have a face for radio, my friend.
Thanks, Jim. Make me feel special today.
Now look at me. Yeah. What should I talk about?
We are the clown princes.
So I want to know what was going. I was there on January 6th too, but I didn't go inside. Did you go inside?
No, I did not.
Wow! And you still got arrested.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually was just indicted today.
Oh no!
Yeah, he has 10 indictments up. If can we read them to everybody? These are what the 10 indictments are. I'll pull them
It's
up. And,
public, right? We could read it.
Yeah.
Please
No,
tell
I
me.
assume so.
Yeah, he already posted it, so I'm just going to go find it here real quick.
But I just got back online. I was doing other things.
I left it over there. If you go to our super secret private account that only you know, I posted it over there in advance, so they're all there.
Okay, I see. Here we have it. Can I read them, Anon?
If you wish, yes.
Okay, we have violations, civil disorder. That's United States Code 18231A3. And we have obstruction of an official proceeding, assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers, entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, engaging in physical violence in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building, act of physical violence in the Capitol grounds or buildings. Wow, you are a dangerous dude. You don't look so dangerous in real life. I mean, what did you what are you a leader of any sort of group or anything?
I can't even lead my own household. No.
Sing for freedom.
You're like the freedom group leader.
I didn't lead anything.
Just sing.
But you've been appointed into that position now.
I guess. I don't want it.
Okay. So do you know who's filing these charges against you?
I don't know the name of the prosecutor, but it's some prosecutor down in D.C.
Okay. And do you think that they just slapped this on everybody and then they're hoping you'll all plea bargain?
I have my theories as to why, but I do understand that, well, I think that the reason the federal government has such a high prosecution rate is because they bear the full weight of the justice system on somebody until they break and plead guilty to something small to make the rest of it go away and the pain to stop. So
yeah, and I know some people have already done that, and I don't fault them for it because I understand.
Yeah, it's a heavy weight to bear.
You know, but some of the guys I think are going to go through the whole ordeal because they believe what they've done is the right thing to do.
I don't believe I've done anything wrong.
I don't think you have either. I was there in Washington, D.C. I didn't see people being violent or bad at all. Were they violent and bad in the area you were at? I mean, it's a big place, and we had millions of people there.
Right. Well, I saw several people that were being violent. They were trying to instigate the crowd into committing violence. They had weapons and they were using tools to destroy property. I got a lot of that on my video, which I posted on several different platforms. And I even put in the description box, FBI use these videos to find the people causing problems, because none of them were actual Trump supporters. One example was somebody brought a sawzall and out of a backpack, and they were cutting down part of the skirting of the scaffolding that was up for the inauguration.
And people were standing on that. They were cutting it while people were standing on it?
Well, they were cutting off the skirting, not the actual structural support, just the tarp that went around it to hide the structure.
Because I was standing next to the scaffolding.
They had pipes that they were trying to get the crowd to use, and people, including myself, were involved in helping get those taken away from them. And then they turned the pipes over to the Capitol Police, to make sure that no weapons were being used. Earlier in the day, I had found some box cutters that were stashed by the porta potty area by the White House ellipse, and we turned those into Secret Service to make sure that, again, that nobody would get hurt. But I did see some folks get violent. And the whole time I was there, I was screaming, no violence. You know, we want peace. This isn't what we're here for.
I saw people egging people on to violence there with bullhorns. And I specifically remember one guy dressed in like gray spandex with a gray spandex mask and a bullhorn. And then he had like a quisp hat or something on top of it. He's looking like a cartoon character, and he's saying, "Come on, attack now! Come on, everybody enter!" Did you see those people like that?
I definitely saw the folks with bullhorns. They were trying to instigate the crowd into doing different actions.
I was telling them to shut up and trying to get them to stop when I was there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody that was there for, you know, the purpose of using their First Amendment was intending to be violent at all. There's instigators and provocateurs, you know, different agents, I guess you could say, in the crowd that were trying to get us and goad us into doing things. And I understand that maybe some Trump supporters got caught up in the emotion of the atmosphere, and they, you know, maybe pushed around a little or tried to do something. But I didn't see anyone that, you know, I would have considered part of our crowd or our group to actually, you know, pick up a pipe and hit somebody or do anything of violence other than maybe push against the shields that were being thrust towards them. The only time I got physical with, you know, anybody other than in just my own defense, like somebody would swing a nightstick at me and I would put my arm up to block it, which, I mean, I got the crap beat out of me while I was there. But there was an elderly man laying on the ground, and he was bleeding from the head. They were beating him up with nightsticks as he was laying on the ground. And I ran and threw my body in between him and the police with my back to the police officers. And I kept screaming, "Let him up, let him up, let him up." You know, because there was no reason for him to be getting beat the way he was. And then as he was walking away from the line of police, they smacked him upside the head with the nightstick again. I mean, I watched them tear gas elderly women and children for standing there singing the national anthem. They were
What side of the Capitol were you on? Because I have a feeling we were all the way around the Capitol. Were you on the side with the parking lot?
I was on the side by the Western Terrace.
Western Terrace, okay. I was not there. I was on another side. I was, I guess, the southern side. The one that faces the Washington Monument. That's the southern side? So you were totally like 90 degrees away from me then, because there was nothing bad happening where I was.
We did actually meet by the White House ellipse, and where they had the porta potties there set up between the White House ellipse and the mall. Mm-hmm. And I have to apologize because I didn't recognize you, and you know, for some reason the memes didn't click into my head, and I actually asked if you were with Alex Jones. Not my proudest moment. You were rather gracious.
I don't remember that. I was pretty enthusiastically and excited and all that, and you know, right. I don't remember you insulting me or anything, but I wouldn't have noticed anyway. And I don't hear so well, so people, if I don't see your lips moving, I probably don't hear what you're saying right anyway. People don't like that about me. I will comment anyway, even if I don't know exactly what you said.
Well, you were very polite, and you know, you just said no, I'm not. You know, and we had our pleasantries, and then we went on our separate ways. But
well, I'm glad I met you, though. I really am.
I walked away.
Well, I wanted to bring him on because
that was Jim. What did I do? Oh God, what did I do?
I'm Alex Jones. Hi. Hey guys, I'm Alex Jones. Welcome to the Capitol. Let's enter.
You look so much like Alex.
I got a bullhorn. Anyway.
It's post-COVID Alex. Is that what we're...
I actually like Alex Jones. I don't. Guys, you eat honey. You put sugar on your cereal. Don't do that. It's bad for you. It's empty calories. Buy honey and mix it in. And make sure it's 8-coon honey because that comes from America. It's made in America. It's arsenic free, contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. You eat honey. You put sugar on your cereal. Buy honey and mix it in. And make sure it's 8-coon honey. It's arsenic free, contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. You eat honey. Buy honey and make sure it's 8-coon honey. It's arsenic free, contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. Like what he says or does, but I find him entertaining.
Oh, I watch him for years.
Entertaining, man. Oh my goodness, I will watch him just because I want to be entertained.
Well, he is entertaining. We'll give him that.
You know, and
Hey, everybody, get out there, and I'm going
to go eat my neighbors.
Your neighbors are secretly watching you. Go look out after that because they're working for the secret Illuminati. People who have been reading the books that they're not supposed to read. So don't read those books, everyone. I mean, you should.
I caught them reading the books, so I ate them.
Yes, because that's how I keep myself fit. And also be sure to buy some of these new products I have on, on my website.
Alex Jones water straws.
Yes.
You can drink the Capital Swamp dry.
And we do this out of love, by the way. Mockery out of love.
Actually, I'm actually proud that he was able to get as big as he did before they pushed him down. And it seems like he's oozing out of all the cracks anyway, because he's on the TV channels now. He's on Cloud TV. I saw him on maybe it was Tubi or Plex or one of those new TV channel things, because I'm trying to find all of them that have I want to watch the old shows.
They're harder to find now. So you almost have to go to Infowars.com to actually access anything that might be older. Or a few people who have been gutty, and you go to some of the other alternative video sites, and you'll see that some people have actually done downloads and re-downloaded Alex for those who are interested in the old days. Now, I've had my back and forth with Alex. I wasn't too happy years ago. I kind of lost a little of my respect for him with the whole thing that occurred with the Fukushima. And he claimed to have had the last of the whatever the stuff was that you needed to keep the, I don't remember what the
Fukushima was so sad though. And I'm pretty sure that most of those first responders there have already passed away from cancers and stuff.
That was a whole.
That's a real bad situation.
That was shortly after.
I want to talk more about Anon here.
Yes, of course. Well,
I want to know what you're facing. Have you talked to an attorney yet?
I have a public defender. I don't know exactly the full gravity of what I have been charged with in those 10 counts in my indictment.
It looks pretty serious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's definitely serious. But I understand that God has me here for a reason. So I plan to see it through.
And speaking of Alex Jones, I want you to try to go on Alex Jones, because he, whether you like him or not, has a bully pulpit, and millions and millions of people will hear what happened to you.
And it needs to be out there. And not only that, I also want to encourage, if there's any lawyers out there who are patriots, and I think there's going to be a lot of people who are indicted right now. You're not alone, Pi.
And speaking of patriots, Alex Jones is a patriot. Now, whether you like him or believe him or not, he's still a patriotic man.
I want to encourage patriotic lawyers to get behind this, and maybe we need to also have a fund generated somehow. I'm not sure who wants to do that, but we need to come up with a fund to support these people, because if you defend. Public defenders do not always have your best interests in mind. They're appointed with a very minimal amount of money given to them to do this case, so they want to end it as quick as possible, because they make more money by having it be a quicker case because they're only getting like a base salary. So what you need to do is have lawyers who actually are patriots who would like to support this. Plus, we need some funding. So maybe somebody should open a GoFundMe, for all of the patriots that are out there.
Well, actually,
from this.
On that, I tried to start a GoFundMe when this all first started. I was arrested by the FBI counterterrorism SWAT team back in May, and I opened up a GoFundMe for legal defense, and they immediately shut it down and then banned me for promoting terrorism. So GoFundMe is
it's going to have to be done.
Well,
carefully.
GoFundMe is not going to help you. Nobody's going to help you. You can't go on PayPal; they'll turn you off. The only thing you can do is like put up a post office box and say, "Please send some checks."
Well, and I think we should all.
And as long as you don't have a Chase Bank, because Chase Bank is canceling everybody that they can find that was in Washington, D.C. too. And now the only thing I can think of with my Chase Bank is I probably purchased my airplane tickets with my Chase Bank card. And they shut off I have a business account, had a business account there. They shut that off. They shut off my youngest son's account there. They shut off my wife's account. They shut off my account.
They don't like us, Jim. I don't know what it is.
They're real pricks.
Yeah. I mean, all of these different organizations and so forth that are shutting people down from having the ability to communicate. This is un-American. American thought should always be able to be out there. All the opposition too, all the crazy thoughts. Like, you don't have to be on my side for me to stand there and support you having an ability to speak freely and to say what you want to say. That is America. America is a place where we have more words that solve our problems, not less. We don't start deciding which words we want to hear and, oh gosh, I can't stand that word, so we have to eliminate that person because they happen to have this idea. How we're going to solve our problems isn't through less ideas. It's through more ideas. It's through discussion. It's through the argument. We have to be willing to argue and debate some of these things. And we can't fear argument and debate of these things. What we do need to do,
they do, James.
Well, of course they do.
And you want to know why? Because they have successfully finagled the system to take over it. And they aren't going to let go, and they aren't going to let you talk about it so that people might find out. We need to find out more about Anon here.
Yes.
And Anon is probably not your real name. Are you using your real name, or do you need to be anonymous that way?
I mean, I've already been doxxed, but I still don't want to poke the bear. I'm going to keep using my internet moniker of Anon.
Okay. So if people are going to mail you checks, if someone wants to mail you a check.
Oh, then, I mean, they can see my indictment and contact me in private message. I would vet somebody and then give them my real information. But my problem is that I've been receiving threats at my house, and I have a wife and kids to worry about because my personal information was put out there rather early, actually. As soon as I was arrested in May.
Didn't you actually make the FBI? They posted a whole bunch of pictures, and I think your picture made it up there amongst a number of other.
Yep.
Because you're looking maybe IRA, maybe I could see you 70s Belfast. Yeah, it could happen. But
now the big issue is, we are fighting right now for free speech, and we're fighting for what we consider our basic American values and rights. But really, anybody that went down there with good intentions. They went down to peaceably use their voice to protest, and asking that they just take a second to double check the election, because all of the anomalies and everything that just didn't add up. Personally, I don't care who's in office.
Hoping they would send the electors back.
Right. I don't care who's in office. I just want it to be fair, right? A truth and transparency. And, I was involved in helping with Enoch's Midnight Ride Caravan to get Patriots down there because, we wanted to have a show of numbers, so people, the Congress and those in charge could see that the American people, we the people, were just asking for truth. And when we say like, oh, we're storming the Capitol, that's just a phrase. We didn't actually have any plans to go in and destroy stuff or do any of the other things that people are being accused of. At least I didn't. I don't want to answer for anybody else, but I had no intention of any type of malfeasance. But I believe wholeheartedly that we should be allowed to use our First Amendment right and voice our derision. And the problem really comes down to what is so wrong with saying that you disagree with somebody to the point where you're going to persecute and prosecute them. That is the definition of tyranny. Well, fascism, actually, you use force to silence your opposition. And so
that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, that worries me quite a bit. And it's not just for myself. I mean, many inmates have been locked up in solitary confinement and whatever detention for awaiting trial. They've been locked up and not able to voice their side of it whatsoever. They're already deemed guilty, even though they have not had a trial. Many of them are being held.
Did you spend any time in the DC confinement center?
No. When I was arrested in the state of Alabama. I did spend a very short amount of time, like just a few hours, in federal detainment in a cell in the U.S. Marshal's office. Then I went to an immediate arraignment, and where I was awarded bond and I was allowed to leave. I'm the sole income for my household. I have a wife, 4 kids, and an invalid father-in-law that lives with us that's pretty much on hospice. And so they awarded me that grace of being able to go and still take care of my family. However, I did lose my job and was put on administrative leave for 2 months with no income until they decided to finally let me go. And so it's had its trials and tribulations.
What is your career? What do you do?
Well, before I was doing smart meter installation for electric companies, and now, because by the grace of God, I was able to get a second job, or another job, not a second one, because I still only have one job, but I was able to get a new job after losing the other one. But I do what they call electrical field engineering. So we help set up the electrical infrastructure in different areas. For professional reasons, I'm not going to say the name of the company.
Are you in the IEB, the International Order of Electrical Workers?
No, I am not union.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay, my mother was in that union. She was an electrical engineer, and I got friends in that union. They got like tattoos of that. If they were in that union, they're like Democrats, but they're like anti-Biden Democrats. I've noticed that they feel so messed over that they were in that unit. They were even considering supporting him.
Right. But I mean, it's definitely by the grace of God that I was able to get employment again. But I mean, going 2 months with no income and supporting what I do, it definitely made it tough. But by the grace of God, He provides, and so I didn't really miss a beat.
Well, I'm glad you're able to work. Working is important.
Me too.
And
yeah, I'm not the
I'm
only
looking at
victim here.
these charges. How can they're going to have to? These are extraordinarily serious charges. 10 of them. They're going to have to prove them.
Yeah.
Won't that have to be proved beyond a reasonable doubt for you to be convicted of them?
That's what they say. I'm hoping that, and I do believe in the justice system. It seems broken sometimes, but, I still put faith in it. But, I mean, they do say you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Unfortunately, I'm a little leery as to what they would consider proof because, again, I didn't.
You're right. You're guilty.
Right.
Will these trials be done via a jury? Would these be a jury trial, or are these going to be something different?
I'm not too sure. I have yet to confer with my attorney on exactly what the next step in the process is going to be. I just received the news of my indictment maybe 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, something like that.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's rather fresh news.
Are you now expecting?
That's an adrenaline thing too.
Are they going to be coming to your house to collect you soon, or what's the deal there? Do you know or have any idea what they might do at this point?
I hope not. Like I said, I got a family to provide for, and I would definitely appreciate the time to make preparations and, know ahead of time, like, hey, you're going to trial, and if you're convicted, then you will be, incarcerated. Not, okay, well, it's Tuesday, now we're taking you. Good luck.
Well, you haven't run. You haven't run.
No.
You haven't done anything, in my opinion, that could be.
Guys, you eat honey. You put sugar on your cereal. Don't do that. It's bad for you. It's empty calories. Buy honey and mix it in. And make sure it's 8-coon honey, because that comes from America. It's made in America. It's arsenic free, contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. You eat honey. You put sugar on your cereal. Buy honey and mix it in. And make sure it's 8-coon honey. It's arsenic free, contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. You eat honey. Buy honey and make sure it's 8-coon honey. It's arsenic free, contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you.
Showing that you're trying to evade anything. So it's good. You're heading it face on. You're talking about it openly. These are strong points.
Are you going to go to? Is your trial going to be in Alabama?
No. I'm actually in the state of Ohio now. I was just working in Alabama when I was arrested. But that is, since I was awarded bond and all of the way the situation worked out, I was able to finally go home. I hope
you can go to court in Ohio.
That'd be nice. I'm actually banned
because
from DC.
At least you can find peers there.
Yeah, I don't want to do trial in DC because that would not be, in my opinion, they would not be able to find an unbiased jury.
No, you mentioned earlier you were working with you worked with Enoch to bring some people over there, which is great. Is Enoch currently indicted?
No, but he also didn't go.
He was doing convoys too. This is basically at you because you were involved in convoy and helping people get there.
No, I think it's more at me because I was actually at the Capitol building. I didn't go in, but I was there. He didn't. After Trump's speech, I don't know exactly how close he got, but he didn't actually go to the grounds. He went to a picnic with a bunch of people that it was pre-scheduled, and then once the crap hit the fan, then he left. I stayed to videotape and to use my voice.
A group of tigers. You know that a group of tigers actually filmed. We did a show during this whole event, and we had a lot of promise. I mean, we were all talking about the hope and the things that could come of this that would be so beneficial to us. And then all of a sudden it started breaking down. You can watch us in the show actually going through all the emotions of watching this situation happen. Jim was there. Jim was broadcasting with us at the time. He was having some problems, I think, because they were kind of blocking signals.
I think they blocked me after a time.
But when we were there, we did have some. We had Orlando was there, and I think Quispus was there. I think also, right? We had people on the scene, and we also had multi-cams going on. So if you can go, you actually can go watch it at Tiger or at Tora. You can go Tora3.com, or you can go see it. It's the first video you'll find on my Gab account at.
I may have more video. I need to look through that. More video than actually went up. I never went back and looked through that.
Well, a number of the people who were there did post videos after the fact. I think you did too, Pi, didn't you? Didn't you have some video?
Yeah, I definitely posted my videos. I posted on YouTube, Rumble, CloutHub. I mean, I've had nothing to hide because, again, I don't think I did anything wrong. I used my voice. I helped protect the defenseless. And whenever I was voicing my issue to stand up for freedom, like you say, I was also standing up for the freedoms of the Capitol Police, the freedoms of the Metro Police, and the freedoms of those that are oppressing us.
I see no weapons charges against you, or there's no weapons charges on there whatsoever. So I mean, it's not like if it was a true insurrection, don't you think there would have been more weapons at the site, more action? They often show that what was it? They show that the gallows or whatever, and it was symbolic. I mean, obviously those gallows would never have worked to actually hang anybody.
I never actually saw them.
Well,
I just heard about that. I never saw it, but I heard about it.
Somebody with our team actually walked past and showed it, but it was like, obviously it was so like flimsy that there's no way you could have literally used that as anything more than just, all it was like a sign. It was like saying, this is what you deserve, not this is what we intend to do with you. Yet, if you watch the news, they'll try to tell you that, oh, they were going to lead them out there and hang them on that. Look, if it's serious, they would have put a gallows up there with many, things, and it would have been a far more dark event than what we were seeing. And most of the event, I think, was pretty positive. I think most of the event, people who had a positive, just a good patriotic attitude towards each other. They were there to make a point. I think the original intent was just to walk around the Capitol building and blow shofars. I think is what I had heard was, it wasn't going to be like anybody entering in. And then all of this chaos, well, I won't even say all this chaos. It seems spotty to me. The chaos seemed really spotty. Like they hadn't planned at all for, what could have happened. And I think anybody could have foreseen that this might have become something ugly. So they should have had a lot more patrols out there, a lot more people watching the Capitol building. Obviously, that was a concern because they knew what these people were there to protest against. And
I think some people in the crowd also. I think some people in the crowd also became a little overzealous with their symbolism and got caught up in the emotion of the
of course
what was actually going on.
Well, of course, I know there's a lot of innocent grandmas and grandpas who were out there to do nothing more than walk around with shofar, who all of a sudden found themselves with a big opening where cops are like going, "Come on in," And at first, I mean, when we were going in, if we had people in there videotaping as they walked down this hallway of police officers and military people to both sides, just letting them through, smiling, talking like, hey, have a nice day. There was none of this. Those people would be dead if it was an insurrection, or at least they would have tried to take them out. You would have seen a lot more violence, a lot more. Yeah. So this idea that it's an insurrection is, to me, just ridiculous.
It's
another organization,
isn't it?
Another organization burnt down the city just a few months prior, and they were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. But Grandma stood on the steps and sang the national anthem and said, "We want you to do your job," and now she's a terrorist.
Oh, yeah, this happens everywhere. I mean, in Oregon, it's really bad, too. They held a thing here in Beaverton. Robert Zerfing, who's been on our show before with Common Sense Conservative, he was out there filming it, and it was so sad because these people have whistles, and it was just like they were all dressed like clowns and blowing these whistles, trying to shut down the ability of people to speak. And this is the thing. People need to stop this thing where they stop people from speaking. We need to speak more, not less. We need more words are what's going to solve all this, not less words. And if you silence somebody, you effectively silence yourself. A lot of these people are finding that out too.
Yeah. I mean, if we didn't have power in our voice, they wouldn't try to silence us.
Yeah.
They're canceling us because they fear that we can use the power of we the people to get them to change.
For sure. I there's got to be a way.
I don't believe that anybody should have been hung, just for the record.
No.
I believe in following the justice system, and that fair, equal justice should be applied.
And only if they're absolutely found to have done a hangable offense should we even consider that. But I'm a person, I believe in forgiveness as much as possible. I know there's some people who don't, but I believe in God, and I believe that, I'm saved by the blood of Christ, and therefore I am eternally grateful for forgiveness because I'm incapable of myself of being perfect enough.
Amen.
So what what I pray for is the forgiveness of all these people. I mean, I know there's so many people out there who want, let's hang this bitch and let's do this thing and let's hurt this person. That's not, in my way of viewing, what we should be doing. What we should be doing is trying to figure out how can we make these people transform their lives into something greater. And we do that through communication, through learning about each other's ways. Sometimes it's just misunderstandings. Like there's a lot of people over on the left who, if you really sat down and talked to them, if you were capable of going through the garbage that oftentimes they've been fed, you can help them to see maybe how you view things. And maybe you'll understand a little more how they view things and find that there is this aisle where we, you know, I've often used the simile that society's like a marriage. We have two sides, two families, one on the left, one on the right, but it's in the aisle where we marry. So we're going to have to find a way back to that aisle where we can, it's just an aisle of discussion, and it's headed towards common purpose, in my view. The common purpose, marriage of our society back to itself, the true resurrection of real patriotism that should be both in the hearts and minds of the left and the right. I've often been accused of being unpatriotic because of my views. I was on with another show recently. I was accused because I believed in the where we go one, we go all philosophy, that somehow I was communist because that was, you know, one thinking in terms of like one, you know, and it's not the way I
see that as a communist thing, though.
It's a unifying factor, not a communist factor. It's just unifying us. It's because the truth is, where we all choose to vote and go and be, we're all going to be there. You know, I mean, where this society goes, how this world ends up, we're all there together. It just happens that way.
I actually interpret where we go one, we go all a little differently than a lot of people. So a lot of folks I notice, they say where we go one, we go all, meaning like where I go, everyone else is going with me, right? So that's a call for unity, and that's great. But I see it when it says where we go one, that's the call for unity. Where we go together, we go all, meaning that we give all that we have, right? We go all in. So where we go together, we go all in. And that's how I interpret where we go one, we go all in.
Well, that's a good interpretation. You know, that's interesting how people have different variations on the theming. And that's what I like too. I don't mind that people have these ideas and variances. That's what makes us interesting. But if we only have one way of thinking, if we're only fed one thing we can legally think, then we got a problem, because that means we're all just we're sucked into the void where we become the gray goo society. And I love the variety. I love the colors. I really do. I love how we're different.
I realize that a lot of folks are just misguided. So if I'm talking to somebody that's a leftist, or they just don't agree with my political ideology, you know, I don't really try to like beat them over the head to get them to think my way. I just realize that they believe a lie. And so I will ask them questions to get them to understand where the fallacy is in their ideology or their thought process. You know, and then if I realize that, hey, maybe I fell into a fallacy and I believed a lie, or I believed a misconception, then I'm willing to change my mind. And a lot of that comes with reason. And unfortunately, the left tends to be devoid of reason quite a bit. But I try to remember
a lot of it's reacting emotionally. A lot of it's emotional based. I mean, I get why many of them feel they've been made to feel like victims. So it's victim culture kind of thinking. It's, we are such horrible victims and we need help from some greater government that's going to save us from ourselves. And the thing is, the government's never been our savior. The government's most often our problem. Because if we want a savior, we got to go to Jesus. We got to go to God. We got to ask for something greater than what this world can offer. This world does not offer us salvation. It is only through the grace of God that you and I and everybody are offered salvation. Now that's hard, because most people don't want to hear that, and they go, "Oh, he's religious," and yeah, I'm hardly religious. I'm just very deeply spiritual. I'm very in tune with my Lord and Savior, who I believe in, and I don't care what other people think religiously, or if they join some church or what have you. I have my own faith. You do too. Everyone should have that personal, direct connect to God, and that should be how we rule our lives. And then we connect to each other as we find commonality within this connection between us and the Lord. You know, it's not about trying to prove my religion to you and how I think this, or, you know, baptism of the dead's impossible, or baptism is necessary in, you know, you got to get it, or baptism is done this way. We spend time on these small issues that have nothing to do ultimately with our salvation, our true redemption and reunification to the Godhead. And that, I believe, is what we should all be seeking. That's the heart of patriotism, is really a reunification to something greater than ourselves. First to a nation of each other, not the government, but to each other who live here. And then we together can go to God and ask for like universal forgiveness, I think, of our nation. That's what we need. We need a universal forgiveness of our nation and a cleansing of our nation. Not cleansing like how you would think with political cleansing. I don't believe in that. But I believe that the cleansing comes in our hearts and in our minds.
Thank you for not believing in political cleansing.
And you're welcome. It never works out well.
Because what's happening to Anon now is political cleansing. And it's so abhorrent to the American experiment. It is not what I signed up for. It's not what Americans are here for. What's happening to you right now, sir? I mean, just imagine it. I think about it. Guys, you eat honey. You put sugar on your cereal. Don't do that. It's bad for you. It's empty calories. Buy honey and mix it in. And make sure it's 8-coon honey, because that comes from America. It's made in America. It's arsenic free. Contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. You eat honey. You put sugar on your cereal. Buy honey and mix it in. And make sure it's 8-coon honey. It's arsenic free. Contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. You eat honey. Buy honey and make sure it's 8-coon honey. It's arsenic free. Contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. Like you're maybe 40 years old.
Yeah, pretty close.
So like 20 years ago, you're 20 years old. Can you imagine the United States has turned into the verge of the Soviet American state?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I grew up in a time when patriotism was revered and respected. You know, I stood up in my living room when the baseball game played and put my hand over my heart when the national anthem started. I used to sit on the back porch of my grandfather's house and listen to his stories of being a pilot in World War II. And it was a goal of mine to serve in the military, which I did. You know, I was in the United States Navy, and I did Afghanistan, and we did a deployment in Iraq. My pleasure. And, you know, I truly bleed red, white, and blue. I love my nation. I'm staunchly nonviolent, but I believe in self-defense, and I believe in the defense of the weak and the vulnerable. But ultimately, times have changed, and they've changed to where patriotism is seen as hateful and bigoted. And, you know, it's like when the Bible tells you that they'll call good evil and evil good. I think that we are seeing that right before our very eyes. And that is why I want to make sure that, because I've been awarded bond for whatever time I have left here in this free America, to stand up for those that have not and that are in lockup. I started the Sing for Freedom campaign because January 6th inmates sing the national anthem every night at 9 p.m. And that moved me to tears when I heard about it, because they are showing love of nation for the same nation that is persecuting them. And that showed me American resolve, and that true patriotism is not dead. And so I've been asking folks to send in videos and use the hashtag of Sing for Freedom of them singing the national anthem. And every day at 9 p.m. I go outside. You are. But I go out and I sing the national anthem, and I post it with that hashtag to stand in solidarity with them, to let them know that they're not alone, that they're not forgotten. And it's done pretty well. I've got a lot of submissions. A lot of folks are sending in videos quite regularly, and I encourage everybody.
I just found 9 gigs of video while we were talking from Washington D.C. So I'm taking it off my phone, and I'll go through it and see if I got anything worthy of sending to you.
But if folks are worried about staying anonymous, then film a video of a tree while singing it, or send in only audio, and folks will put it to video to so that way they can post and share everywhere. So sing for freedom, folks.
Well, it's time for people to realize that if we don't win this, there's going to be a whole lot more people locked up. And I don't want you to be subject to what they called in the 30s a show trial, where it's just, we're just doing this, but you're already guilty.
And that's unfortunately what it feels like. The fact that they've been in lockup for months for misdemeanors, and some of the people that are in there, their charges have only a punishment of up to 6 months, but they've already been in lockup before being convicted for 8 months.
Because they haven't even been to court yet.
Right. They're just waiting trial.
That's a separate violation of their constitutional rights.
Freaking Speedy. Whatever happened to that?
Well,
that's in our...
Yeah, right to a speedy trial, habeas corpus. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but there's a lot of things that I assume.
Yeah, but you don't have to be a lawyer to understand that.
Yeah.
The lawyers have written a lot of crappy stuff in there, but you don't have to be a lawyer to understand your rights. Your basic rights. I mean, they have like niggling details, but you got a special right you didn't know about. Maybe. I hope you get some rights. I want to see you not be locked up.
Me too, and I'm sure my wife and family would agree.
I hope
you're very brave.
And today you got that. I think that they are all in cahoots in Washington, D.C. right now, and probably those charges are being pushed out of the House of Representatives. Because the House of Representatives is sending letters to all of the social media companies now, trying to get information on people like you that may have or may not have been communicating behind the scenes, and they want to use that information. So at the same time, they're sending out they're like, gee whiz, this is all happening at the same time. That's coordinated.
Well, I know that
they are coordinating a takedown of people this way, and that's wrong.
I agree.
I don't know if that's illegal or not, but it's morally repugnant.
Reprehensible.
Yeah, and I've been banned off of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just a long list of
those
platforms.
Are bad places
I've been banned everywhere.
be.
Right. Yeah. Like I said on a chat I spoke with you earlier, I think getting kicked off of those platforms is probably one of the best things that happened to me, because it's a lot less stressful, and I have a lot less to worry about. I'm on Telegram now, and a couple other platforms like YouTube. Surprisingly, I'm still on there, and of course the Tiger Network. I love Tor3.com because I can post whatever I want and not have to worry about anything there. So thanks, Jim. Not trying to kiss your butt or anything, but
no. I'll keep it on as long as I can too. That it's important.
But it's I've definitely been sequestered to a very, very shallow corner of the internet because everywhere else has rejected me.
Well, I'm not.
And yet, look at this guy. Does he look like any threat? You do not look, sir. You do not look in any way threatening, like you're out to like hurt or harm anyone or anything. You seem like a very genteel man in many ways. And to me, I love people like that. Obviously, people who hang around me are mostly gentle, caring, compassionate individuals. I'm kind of picky that way. But that's one of the things that really and you've been true. I've never seen you not be an honest person. You're speaking your heart. You're willing to get out here, dude. You're a hero in many ways, and we need to uphold our. Now, that because you just shook your head there, also shows how much of a hero you are, because you're humble, and that's important too. So, folks, I really want to get people behind what's going on. Please, find Anon on Telegram.
I put a link to his Telegram in the
Please
description.
put his link in the description. Please, folks, get behind. Go sing for freedom. Everybody's got a voice. It's time we just rock the world with singing. And I've often said that real revolutions will occur with dance and singing. So feel free to dance your revolution or sing your revolution. Imagine if everybody could, like, I used to have this vision, this weird idea. Wouldn't it be wonderful? Everybody just stopped, went outside, put on some music, and everybody just started dancing. For a moment, all sides could come together. There would be when you dance, you don't know if somebody's right or left or up or down or back or forth or what their sexual identity is or their political identity or their whatever identity. That for a moment in dance, we are all one. And that I like. I like that kind of feeling. So this idea of singing, this joining together in patriotism, of singing the national anthem, beautiful idea, my man. Absolutely. I'm totally behind it. You know that. And that's why you're here. So I want to thank you as a citizen of the United States for being willing to step forward and be who you are and present yourself as a true citizen of the United States and a true patriot of the United States of America. Thank you.
James, we're talking a lot here. I want to make sure that Anon gets out, because this will be rebroadcast on several networks like DLive and things like that. And because the Tiger Network's only so big. But I want to make sure that Anon gets out what he wants to talk about. Do you have anything we haven't covered?
Well, first, I'd like to thank you guys again for having me on here. But those that were in there for January 6th, they're not the only victims. They have families, they have children. And our country as a whole, I believe that the January 6th event symbolizes the fact that we, the people, asked our governing bodies to do something, and we were denied. We were denied the moment to just double check the election before giving it the rubber stamp of approval. And I think that is a moment that should have woken up a lot of people. But because we have had paradise for almost 250 years, people have become complacent. And it's time to wake up and speak out. Speak up. You're not alone. If folks are worried about, staying anonymous, there's 100 different ways that you can still speak and not show your face. Even if you just go and talk to your neighbor and let them know that you don't agree with some of the stuff going on. Personally, I've started flying my flags at home upside down because that is a sign of distress. But I also put them at half mast as to not disrespect the Stars and Stripes. And yes, I am in the fire.
Speaking of half mast, did you know that Walter Mondale died? He was the vice president for Jimmy Carter.
Oh, no, I did not hear that.
Yeah, he died, and they forgot to put it in the news. The freaking vice president. They didn't. They forgot about that. They missed it. Oopsie. So
wait, wasn't that a few weeks ago? Like I think I remember hearing about that.
It was a couple months ago.
No. A couple months, yeah. I think I remember hearing about that. From you, actually.
I'm the only one who talked about it. I didn't even like Walter Mondale, but he was the vice president. He was actually elected with the president then. It wasn't. I don't think they cheated as bad back then.
But there's there's a lot of folks out there that are pushing disinformation, like calling for violence and things like that. And you need to use your head. Violence is what destroys nations. Bureaucracy and the pen is mightier than any sword. So folks, use your voice, speak up, or we're going to lose our country and there's nowhere else to run.
I believe
I put my faith in God and I give all my glory to God. Like I'm nobody. I'm some hillbilly from the mountains of West Virginia.
Are you from West Virginia?
Man. Yes, sir.
Mountain Mama, take me home, country road, yeah.
Well, I lived in West Virginia for several years. I love West Virginia. It's like a second home to me.
It's definitely in my heart. I love it.
What part are you from?
I'm from the northern panhandle, the finger, the tip of the finger right between Ohio and Pennsylvania.
I used to live in Wheeling.
I lived in New Cumberland and Weirton, which are about 40 minutes north of Wheeling.
Yeah, I know where that is, by Waring Steel.
Yep. We recently moved. We just bought a house, my wife and I, to Ohio. So that's why I'm in Ohio now, but it's still not far from my original home. I
interviewed an appliance repairman from Wearing.
Yeah, Weirton.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a long while. It's been over 20 years since I lived in West Virginia. Weirton, right there on the 90.
Yeah, I'm actually related to Johnny Appleseed, who is from that area. His real name was John
Chapman.
Chapman.
Kidding me? You're a Chapman?
And you know who else is from that? You know who else is from that area? Dean Martin.
Yes, I love Dino. I have a bunch of karaoke videos of me singing some Dean Martin on YouTube.
Oh, great! What's your favorite Dean Martin song?
Yeah, sing for us.
Oh, I'd probably kill your microphone, but I mean,
why not?
Do it.
Okay.
Guys, you eat honey. You put sugar on your cereal. Don't do that. It's bad for you. It's empty calories. Buy honey and mix it in. And make sure it's 8-coon honey, because that comes from America. It's made in America. It's arsenic free. Contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. You eat honey. You put sugar on your cereal. Buy honey and mix it in. And make sure it's 8-coon honey. It's arsenic free. Contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. You eat honey. Buy honey and make sure it's 8-coon honey. It's arsenic free. Contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you.
I'll do a classic, I guess. The old "That's Amore." But with this, you guys are going to have to sing a patriotic song for me for the Sing for Freedom campaign.
You got it, brother.
I'll sing a Dean Martin song.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world starts to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella.
What a fella.
Heart to play, tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like your gay tarantella. Did I break something now?
Howdy.
No, you did
Howdy.
Oh, by the way, a tarantella is a dance. People tell you, what's a tarantella? You're a gay tarantella. I said, no, it's a dance. Gay means happy.
Right.
It's a happy dance. I'm doing my happy dance.
Doing the happy dance. Do the happy dance.
Let's see. There's more to that song. Oh, gee whiz. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. With a smile on your face like a pasta fazool, you're in love.
Close. Very close.
Something like that.
I feel like the only Jerry amongst a whole bunch of deans right now.
Wow.
Hello, everybody. Oh, Jerry.
And he was he always played an alcoholic in the movies. I'm not sure if he actually was or not, but that was his like part.
Well, that was after he started doing that after Jerry. So it was when Jerry and Dean were together. You really didn't see the drinking as part of the act. Dean was just the straight man, and I'm an old Jerry and Dean fan. Of course, you guys know my mom was in a Jerry Lewis Dean Martin movie, right? So, I have a heart.
Really, I did not know that.
You're never too young. Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. She's in the big dance number, Face the Music, which someday is going to be the title of the book I'm going to write about her, because her life in Hollywood is quite interesting, and she's still around. She's still kicking. I tried to get her on the show, but she's just a little bit too shy. Still going to try, because
Jerry Lewis used to have like a white car, and it had and I wasn't a car buff at the time, but I saw it at the Sahara. I didn't see him. I saw the car, and it was such an interesting car. It was probably a Rolls Royce, and I didn't know what a Rolls Royce was. I'm really white trash, but it was such a cool car. And then I looked at it; it had his name written on it right by the driver's door. I don't know what it said, Jerry Lewis, and I said, "Wow!" And that was at the Sahara. The Sahara got blown up. I think they imploded it.
Yeah,
but
that was a plan. It wasn't blown up by terrorists. It was blown up by planners.
Yeah, they planned they planned that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still think it dropped slower than the Twin Towers.
So I want you to keep us updated as best as you can, and make sure you don't put too much information out there that you have something you can defend yourself with, because you can incriminate yourself in something and not even realize it was a crime. Because supposedly we're all committing felonies every day and we don't even know it.
Well,
I'm guilty of free speech.
I believe wholeheartedly that I have truth on my side, and like I said, I'm in God's hands. So whatever He has in store for me, then I plan to see it through. I've always been me, and I have nothing. Like I said, I have nothing to hide. I'm not going to be anything other than me. Take it or leave it, like it or love it or hate it. I change because I'm a human, but there ain't much different than what I am. What you see is what you get. And if they want to try to incriminate me for something innocuous, then that's on them. I've been honest from day one. Like I said, I've posted the videos of everything going on, and even before the 6th, they got all my social media. Cool. They're going to see a bunch of dank memes, and the fact that I have a sense of humor. I've never made any threats towards anybody, especially in the political spectrum. I'm nonviolent. I don't believe in violence. I do believe in self-defense. If somebody's punching me in the face, I'm gonna do what I have to.
That's the right thing to do. And defending an old dude that's laying on the ground getting beat up, that's the right thing to do too.
Or a woman.
And that happens to people, and people get this mob mentality going, and police are people. They get the same feeling going. So I got to get my hit in there too. Or those people that pulled what was the guy that they pulled out of the car? Reginald Denny. They pulled him out of his truck. Or no,
back in the LA ride.
Was Reginald Denny that was pulled out of the truck? I think so. And then they burnt the whole city down over. Eventually, the whole city ended up getting burnt down. That was just the beginning of it. It was because of the other guy that the police beat up. So the police beating someone up caused Los Angeles to burn. And now I'm not sure if the guy that was pulled out of the truck was Reginald Denny or the guy that was beat up by the police was Reginald Denny, because it's been a long time and I don't remember. But both of them didn't deserve to be beat up. Neither one of them.
I was maybe 150, 200 feet from where Roseanne Boylan lost her life by being beat by a Capitol police officer. So, I mean, there are some things that happened there that they're definitely not reported. There was definitely police brutality. And
do you have that on film?
No, I wasn't close enough to film it, but I mean, I know where it happened. I was there.
There's probably like someone who did film it. I mean, nowadays there's got to be somebody who's got that. So whoever's got that kind of film, bring it forward. We all want to see truth. That's all we want to see is truth. Bring it forward.
Well, I've got 12 gigs of Washington, D.C. video. I'm going to send it to the Congress, I guess. So if you're in my video, hey.
Well, they did request some stuff from you, right, Jim? There you go.
Well, they want something from me, so I'll send them 12 gigs of encrypted video. I'll convert it to.
Let them have to figure out how to unencrypt it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they have the Library of Congress. They can find the codec.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
I see how this works.
I have a codec that we used to use when we were doing our first streaming videos way back when in the middle 90s. We started a streaming video site. It was legal, by the way. People would say I'm skirting the law. I said, no, I was paying royalties and licensing fees to movie studios. But that codec, Microsoft bought the maker of it and removed the codec from the internet. It's like memory hold, but I still have it. I could, I'll convert everything to that codec and give it to Congress and say, figure it out. Talk to Mycroft over there. He'll figure it out.
And if things don't work out well, there's always Odin.
Well, speaking of which, we will have images again soon. I'm talking to some other companies about hosting images for us, and probably it'll end up they won't be on 8kun anymore, and I won't have any control over the images. But there will be able to have images. Because nothing I touch can make money or be on the internet, you know.
Not even me.
We're embargoed, dude. We're embargoed. An embargo is an act of war, and show trials are something that the Soviets did, because the Soviets are gone. We won that war. So, and if you don't like Putin or whatever, at least he's a former Soviet, but he hasn't turned the Russia back into that nightmare. So that's a good thing. But anyway,
it's pretty bad.
Did the Russians put you up to what you did?
No. Okay. I don't even know any Russians. I don't even like Russians.
You haven't got your vodka yet?
I don't think they have any Russians in Ohio.
Probably not.
Yeah. It's like, sorry. Oh, the Russians, they didn't get past Minnesota.
Yeah. And they definitely aren't in West Virginia, because as soon as they taste the moonshine, they run off.
Yeah. It's too strong. This is not vodka. Vodka. No vodka here. It's like, oh God, what did you make this out of? Well, anyway. So yeah, I lived all over West Virginia and Weirton. Sorry, it's been over 20 years. But yeah, I was even in the police reserves there in West Virginia, in Wheeling.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up one thing I think is important to point out today, because it's going on right now. We need prayer for this, and that's both East and West Coast right now are having their own sets of problems. On the West Coast, you have fire, and on the East Coast, you have incredible storms. and there've been some horrible losses and homes and some people along the way in both of these things, and I just want people to remember to pray for the victims of these situations right now.
Well,
I
Pastor
actually
James,
used
how
to
about
work.
you do the prayer? It's about time to go here.
Well, then we will do that. And I want to thank you
You're not
first
going
of
to sing for
all.
me?
Who's going to sing? Me? You
Let's
want me
all
to sing?
sing.
Okay. We do that with it. It
Let's
won't
sing a
blend
song we
wrong.
all know.
What? Well, the one
America the
that
Beautiful.
America the Beautiful, or do we want? Do we want the? Yeah.
Star
Okay.
Spangled
Well,
Banner.
Star Spangled Banner. Sounds great to me.
Okay, let me put my microphone up so I can stand up.
I can't.
You guys
stand up
can
for
see
you.
my belly. Okay, let's see.
I will take my hat off though. Well, of course, you can't
How's
see
that?
that.
Okay, let's see.
I feel so unseen today, but I'm here.
Okay.
Someone who's going to start.
Oh,
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we won were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were stinging, gave proof through the night that our flag was still. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave?
oh, the land
And the free
and
and
the
the
Brave.
brave.
God bless you both.
Hey, God
God
bless
bless you,
you
my
too.
brother. I think that was a decent prayer right there. That's the prayer that we need to end this show with. God bless
Amen.
America.
Land that I love.
We
Okay,
definitely do pray for the
I'm gonna
victims.
turn this off, guys.
Okay.
Guys, you eat honey. You put sugar on your cereal. Don't do that. It's bad for you. It's empty calories. Buy honey and mix it in. And make sure it's 8-coon honey because that comes from America. It's made in America. It's arsenic free, contains no strychnine. It is super sweet honey for you. You eat honey. You put sugar on your cereal. Buy honey and mix it in.